This is for entertainment purposes only. This short story is only for people over the age of 18.
You claim to have some kind of dream power.
The interviewer asked me.
I'd call it more than a claim, but sure, I have a dream power.
I stated with a grin.
Tell me about it.
She asked.
Well,
I thought where to begin.
it developed after I hit my head working at a construction site. Someone ran into the other end of a pipe with a forklift, and it went right into my head, cracked my hard hat, and nearly cracked my skull. I still have the scar if you want to see it.
That's all right.
The interviewer stated and added.
Please continue.
Well, after that I could control my dreams.
I said with a happy smile.
I could do anything in my dreams, and be anyone, and it was a pure fantasy land. It took me a while to realize that I could pull people into my dreams. The thing is, I have to touch them first. I don't know why. I just know if I touch a person, I can pull them into my dreams, and I will be able to control them, like I can control everything else in my dreams.
A question, when you say control them, could you elaborate?
The woman with the notepad, that I don't think she was actually writing in, asked.
It's about what it sounds like.
I stated.
I can remake their bodies in any way I like. I can manipulate their minds, making them feel, think, believe, behave, remember, forget, or even say whatever comes to my mind. The creepy part is, if I end the dream, or just wake up, or they wake up, any changes that are not reversed, come to pass in reality after 12 days.
I'm not sure creepy is the word for it.
The woman stated.
You are telling me that you can change a person's body, however you want, and in 12 days they will look like they did in your dream?
The conversion starts as soon as they wake up, but the full effect takes 12 days.
I said thinking back.
Some mental changes take less time, but after 12 days, it was like they'd always been there.
What do you do with this power?
I was asked.
I have had sex with the most beautiful women in the world, both in my dreams and in reality.
I said with a sly grin.
People are very forthcoming with a handshake when you first meet them. I will say the sex is great, but mostly I use this power to boost my stock portfolio.
Insider trading?
The interviewer asked, and this time she actually wrote it down.
In a dream, good luck proving that.
I mocked.
It has been very lucrative doing this. I make more money in the stock market than Congress does. That's just what I do. What you want to know about is Amelia Bradford.
Yes, I do.
The woman stated with the first hint of a smile I'd seen the entire time.
Did you pull Amelia Bradford into your dreams and control her?
Absolutely.
I said, not showing any shame.
The woman was a real bitch, but I fixed that.
Walk me through what happened.
The interviewer asked.
Okay, so just a few years ago I was barely able to make rent each month, but after the accident I used my dream power to get wealth like you wouldn't believe.
I said, thinking back to when it happened.
I didn't go all flashy with a car or watches or a boat. I dressed nicely, met people on the golf course, and went to fancy parties. I was the investment guru. I managed my money and many, many other people's. Then 3 months ago I went to a fancy party. I think it was with the Westingmore people. Somehow, I got a seat next to Amelia Bradford. I swear she keeps that last name just to stick it to her ex-husband.
That's not really important, is it?
The interviewer asked.
If you've met her, then I'd say yes.
I disagreed.
She's really sexy, and I see why Douglas Bradford openly called her his trophy wife. How she got that prenuptial agreement annulled I'll never know. Money, power, prestige, and the Bradford name to boot. You'd think that Amelia would be thankful.
She wasn't?
The interviewer asked, as she was writing something down.
At that table with her, hearing her talk.
I said, shaking my head.
I don't think there was a racial or ethnic group she didn't claim were horrible. She hit on white women, which she is one, as being horrible more than a few times. Skin color, background, accents, body shape, hairstyles, and she had a big problem with people's sexual orientation.
Did this offend you?
I was asked with a cocked eyebrow.
Yes, it did.
I stated factually.
I've always believed that a person is a good person until they show you otherwise. I don't care what a person does in the bedroom, and a good person wouldn't shove it in my face. When someone does, and demands I respect that is their identity, then I have a problem. A person is born from certain heritage, and that may be a big part of who they are, but that shouldn't define them. When I am demanded to treat a person differently because of their heritage or skin color, then I have a problem with them. Poor people are poor because they don't have enough money, not because they don't work hard. Some are like that, but not everyone. Being poor is not a crime, but putting people down for not having money is a crime, in my book. Amelia made assumptions about people without finding out who they were, and that pissed me off.
Did she do anything else that pissed you off?
The question was one I wasn't expecting.
I think what made me decide to do something about her was when Amelia said that the food we were being served was horrible.
I said being taken back to that night.
That one plate of food, right after the appetizer, was more than my entire monthly food budget when I worked construction. I would have had a small panic attack spending that much on food before, and there was Amelia saying the food was horrible. It wasn't great. Too much salt and butter. I don't think Amelia appreciated what she'd been given. That's when I decided to make her appreciate it.
You touched her?
The interviewer asked.
I dropped my knife.
I said with a sly grin.
I reached down to get it and brushed the back of her hand coming back up. She didn't notice.
Then you went into her dreams?
It was more of an accusation than a question.
Not that night, but the next one.
I answered.
I shouldn't have been surprised when Amelia started berating me. To her, it was a dream, but she was still a pain in the ass asking why I dragged her from a wonderful dream riding horses. Now, please understand, I could have done anything to Amelia. I could have hit her, stabbed her, I could have roasted her alive over a fire, just anything short of killing her would have been fine in my book. If I kill a person in my dream, they wake up, and they'll be dead in 12 days. I'm not doing that again. I could have done things just short of killing Amelia, but I didn't.
What did you do?
That was the big question.
I had her make love to an African woman.
I said with a grin.
A woman I met in Africa, who delights in the pleasures of other women, became Amelia's only desire. I like to participate in my dreams, but this time, I just watched. I watched Amelia fight against her sudden and overwhelming sexual desires. That overwhelming finally took over and Amelia did one of the many things she hated. Two women going at it, even in a dream, is still really hot.
You think lesbianism is hot?
It was absolutely an accusation.
If the women are, yes.
I agreed.
Show me a man that doesn't think so, and I'll show you a liar. So, my friend from Africa, she knew exactly what was going on, and thanked me. I made Amelia do whatever she was told, and in short order Amelia was on her back, and I was witness to a super sexy 69 display. Then my friend had to go, she was waking up. Amelia was perplexed that the woman she'd just been very intimate with was gone. So, I helped out. I can tell who is asleep that is in my roster of people to pull into my dreams. I gave Amelia an endless supply of slits to lick. I made sure Amelia knew the race, ethnicity, and nationality of every woman whose thighs were currently on either side of her head. Amelia was too far gone to care, it seemed. Then I had Amelia switch places, and there were women with every accent you can name between her legs, licking and sucking. I lost track of how many orgasms Amelia had, but it was over 10.
Did you change Amelia physically?
That was the next big question.
Didn't I mention that?
I asked, trying to remember.
Right away I modified Amelia's body. I wanted her sexy but also hate her body. So, I took inspiration from the bodybuilding world. There are some female bodybuilders that look like they could lift a tank, but their bodies are perfectly proportioned. That's how I made Amelia. She's sexy as hell, better than a trophy wife. Her breasts are large and firm, but if you touch them, they may look fake but are absolutely real. She's got a six-pack in her middle that will always be there. She might not be able to lift a tank, but her biceps are bigger than mine. She's also a natural blonde, now, but the only hair she'll ever grow is on the top of her head.
That is how you left her?
The interviewer asked. She made notes the entire time.
Body-wise, a few years younger than before, but yes.
I agreed.
Mentally, I woke her up with a compassion for all people, a deep desire for lesbian sex, and an arousal that could jump to max when a woman just looks at her.
Did this come to pass?
The interviewer asked, suddenly very interested.
I assume so.
I said with a shrug.
I haven't seen her since that party, and that was, 3 months ago. I met Douglas Bradford about a month ago on the golf course. I'm horrible at long drives and Douglas gave me some pointers. We got on the subject of his ex-wife, and how Amelia had recently gone down to Puerto Rico to use her money and influence to make that place a little bit better. Douglas also dropped the bomb that Amelia was believed to be shacking up with a local woman, and the two were actually lovers.
An unfounded rumor, I'm sure.
The interviewer stated.
I believe I have everything here to write my story. I would like to thank you for letting me interview you.
Well, you have been stalking me for a week now.
I said with a grin.
Running into me at that coffee shop was really the last straw.
I wondered if you were meeting anyone there.
The interviewer said as she stood up, her long red dress she didn't have on a moment ago hugged her hips and was tight across her middle.
Right, well, it did let me touch you.
I said with a grin.
What does?
She said and then stopped and looked around.
This is a dream.
And you're wearing far too much.
I said and snapped my fingers to make her naked.
Your body is also really sad. How about we pump you up?
I snapped my fingers again. I didn't need to snap my fingers, but that split second before the changes take hold, the terror in their eyes, makes it worth it. The woman's body morphed. I've always had a thing for artwork in comic books from the 1990s. The bright colors and fantastically exaggerated bodies always did it for me. I turned the interviewer into a woman from then. She became tall, over 6 feet. Her dark hair became so black it had a blue shine. Her face smoothed, pinched, and became perfect for a woman in her 20s. That's what I morphed her body back to, the state of early 20s. To add to the look, I gave her overly impressive muscles, so her six-pack abs showed through anything she had on. Her breasts ballooned out to twin peaks on her chest, high-set and impressively round and firm. All hair that wasn't on her head vanished. Then the look came into her eyes.
I will do anything for you, master.
She said with a hopeful smile and rocking hips.
I know you will.
I said with a grin that made her climax so hard she dropped to her knees.
I also know that story will never see the light of day. You'll delete it from your computers and your mind. You'll forget about the name Amelia Bradford. You'll even forget about this dream. What you will do, starting as soon as possible, is dump whatever boyfriend you have, become single, but no one will be good enough for you. You will lust for me, and only me. Start exercising to keep up the ruse that your muscles are anything other than natural. Oh, and let whoever is employing you know that Amelia's sudden switch in personality traits has nothing to do with me.
Yes, master, anything for you, master.
The woman said as her hips kept rocking with lustful desires.
How else may I pleasure you?
Well,
I pretended to think.
this is my dream.
I waved my hand, and a large California king-size bed appeared.
How do you feel about waking up to an orgasm?
If it pleases you, master.
The woman, whose name I didn't even know, threw herself onto the bed, and I quickly followed.
The end. This was a work of fiction. Any similarity between people, living or dead, is purely coincidence. This scenario did not, or should not, have happened in real life. Thank you for listening.